Welcome back to the Roberta Show, a space for real conversations, real growth, and real transformation. I'm your host, Roberta Tabb, the Affirmation Architect. I'm so grateful you're here because today's conversation is one I think we all need. We're living in a world that celebrates hustle. Move faster, work harder, do more, sleep less. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that exhaustion was proof of ambition, that if we weren't overwhelmed, we weren't working hard enough. But I want to challenge that belief today, because burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a warning sign. And if your version of success costs you your peace, your health, your joy, or your relationship with yourself, it's much too expensive. Today's episode is about building momentum without burning out, because I don't want you to sprint toward a life you won't have the energy to enjoy. I want you to build something sustainable, something that lasts. I used to believe momentum meant moving fast, checking every box, saying yes to every opportunity, always producing, always achieving. But what I've learned is that momentum has very little to do with speed. Momentum is consistency. It's continuing to move even when the movement feels small. Think about it. A tiny stream of water can carve through solid rock, not because it's powerful all at once, but because it keeps showing up. That's what consistency does. It changes you, not overnight, but over time. And I think that's the part people struggle with. We love dramatic transformations. We love before and after stories. We love overnight success. But real growth? Real growth is usually quiet. It's choosing to keep going on a Tuesday when nobody's watching. It's making one healthy decision, keeping one promise to yourself, doing one thing that moves your life forward, then doing it again tomorrow. I think one of the biggest reasons people burn out is because they try to become a completely different person overnight. They create impossible routines. They decide they'll wake up at 5 a.m., work out every day, meditate for an hour, read 2 books a week, drink a gallon of water, meal prep, journal, start a business, and somehow still have energy left. And by the end of the week, they're exhausted. Not because they're incapable, but because the plan was never sustainable. Growth shouldn't feel like punishment. It should feel like progress. Instead of asking yourself, what can I accomplish this week? Try asking, what can I consistently maintain this month? That's the better question, because consistency beats intensity every single time. I also want to talk about rest, not because it's trendy, but because it's necessary. Some people only allow themselves to rest after they've completely depleted themselves. But rest isn't something you earn. It's something your body requires. The strongest version of you isn't the one who never stops. It's the one who knows when to pause without quitting. There is a difference. Rest is intentional. Giving up is permanent. Don't confuse the two. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is close the laptop. Go outside. Take a walk. Call someone you love. Sleep. Read a book. Laugh. Live your life. Because you are more than your productivity. I want to say something that changed the way I approach my own goals. Your future isn't created by your best day. It's created by your average day. Think about that. Your average habits, your average choices, your average routines. Those are the things quietly shaping your future. Not perfection. Not occasional bursts of motivation. It's the consistency. That's why I don't believe in waiting for motivation anymore. I believe in building systems, simple routines, small habits. Daily choices that don't require you to be inspired every morning. Because inspiration is wonderful, but discipline carries you farther. If you've been feeling burned out lately, I want you to ask yourself something. Have I been chasing progress, or have I been chasing approval? Sometimes we work ourselves into exhaustion trying to prove something to other people, to social media, even to ourselves. But alignment doesn't ask you to prove your worth. It asks you to honor it. And honoring yourself sometimes looks like slowing down. Sometimes it looks like saying no, and sometimes it looks like choosing one meaningful step instead of 10 frantic ones. Because the goal isn't to do everything. The goal is to keep moving. So today, I want to give you permission. Permission to grow at your own pace. Permission to build slowly. Permission to stop comparing your timeline to someone else's highlight reel. Because sustainable growth isn't flashy. It's faithful. It's showing up again tomorrow and the day after that. That's where momentum lives, not in extremes, in consistency. Welcome to your affirmation work. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders relax. Repeat these affirmations with intention. I release the pressure to do everything at once. I choose consistency over perfection. I trust that small steps create lasting change. I honor my energy as I pursue my goals. I do not need to hustle to prove my worth. Rest supports my growth. My pace does not determine my potential. Every small action moves me forward. I am building a life that is both successful and sustainable. I am becoming stronger through consistency. I trust the process. I trust myself. Here's your alignment check-in. Ask yourself, where am I trying to force growth instead of allowing it to happen consistently? The truth is, you don't need to do more. You need to keep showing up. This week's action is to choose one habit that truly matters to you. Not 5, not 10, just one. Commit to it for the next 7 days and let consistency, not intensity, be your measure of success. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode reminded you to slow down, breathe, and trust your own pace, I hope you'll carry that with you throughout the week. Remember, you don't have to earn rest. You don't have to rush your growth. And you certainly don't have to burn yourself out to build a meaningful life. Keep choosing yourself. Keep moving with intention. And I'll see you next week for another episode of The Roberta Show.